Recently, Korean convenience store brands have been rapidly expanding into overseas markets, with the total number of stores operating abroad now surpassing 1,500. Among those, some 400 are in Vietnam. Through localized menus and store operations, they have become part of everyday life for Vietnamese consumers. Today, we connect to our K-Correspondent Anh Thư Wendy, a Vietnamese content creator, to talk about K-convenience stores and their appeal in Vietnam. Hello, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So first and foremost, Wendy, you are connecting with us from Hanoi, but I heard you study in Korea. So tell us a bit about yourself and your connection to Korea.
Yeah, that's true. I'm Anh Thư and I'm from Vietnam, but I go by Wendy, so you can call me Wendy. I'm actually pursuing my bachelor degree at Yonsei University, and this spring 2026 semester, it's going to be my last semester. I'm actually graduating soon, and my major is culture and design management.
All right, so let's get to our main theme today, the rise of Korean convenience stores in your country. So first off, what's your go-to K-convenience store item and why?
I would say since it's convenience store, obviously I use it the most when I need something fast or I'm in a rush. I would say anything instant would be my go-to choice. For example, instant sausages, instant noodle, and sometimes triangle kimbap.
Oh, sounds delicious. And those are definitely the ones I go to when I have a short time between my broadcasting as well. And also, among Korean convenience stores you've seen in Vietnam, is there an example of localization that left a kind of strong impression on you? And I'm sure you've been to Korean convenience stores both in Vietnam and Korea. How would you say they're different?
I have to be honest that I'm not a convenience store fanatic, so I have to say that my knowledge about the location of those are like pretty bad. However, I do notice when I go around in Vietnam that there's one common localization. It's that it often placed very nearby some of the secondary and high school main gates. Compared to Korea, I would see a lot of convenience store around the residential area, like apart, rather than schools.
Oh, wow, that is a big difference.
It looks like they are targeted at many students in Vietnam,
Right.
While here in Korea, it's actually for all generations, for everyone to go 24 hours a day.
Definitely, it seems like it. And which Korean convenience store menu items or products are especially popular among Vietnam consumers?
Let me see. I feel like first Korean snacks, kwata, and as I said, instant noodle. Shinramen or kimbap, I would consider those are the most popular because they are originally Korean food, and I would say because it's a Korean convenience store, people would have more trust to buy those rather than any Vietnamese one store.
Oh.
All right. And Wendy, recently in Vietnam, Korean convenience stores have become more than just places to shop, but they're also spaces to eat and relax. So from your perspective, how has convenience store culture in Vietnam changed compared to the past? And has that culture actually changed with the arrival of K-convenience stores?
I would say that's very true. I think for this question, I can answer really well because from my point of view, as someone who has been living in Vietnam for the entire 18 years of my life before college in Korea, the concept of hanging out and eating in the convenience store, it has never been a common thing before the point I went abroad. And the concept of convenience store has always been more like a small type of mart than a store. It's a place where people purely go there and shop for things when they need, and that's all. This is what the Vietnamese parents always told us when we were young. We have a house. Why do you have to eat at a mart? That's how it used to be. And this is from my personal experience, but I do go back to Vietnam every summer and winter break, and I was so surprised on my own when I see so many convenience stores pop up gradually. And yeah, like you said, people start eating and hanging out. They're like what I literally see daily in Korea, which really shocked me because this has never been culturally popular in Vietnam. And I feel like that's such a big change within my culture.
It's really interesting to see how convenience stores can change daily life and also culture itself.
Definitely. And since motorbikes are a primary means of transportation in Vietnam, one Korean convenience store's motorbike drive-thru service has drawn a lot of attention. That's actually something I haven't even seen in Korea. So have you personally used it or seen others use it around you? And what has the local reaction been like?
Actually, I have to say I've never seen or heard about it. Maybe it's just because I'm not very catch up to the news. But I feel like this is such a cool concept when I heard about it because especially busy people, they can make use of it. I feel like if it were introduced like widely into my society, it's going to be the next big thing and it might shift consumer patterns too.
Maybe because they haven't launched this for a long time yet, you might have not came across to it. But I think it is a great idea, and that is really a very good idea of localization. Because in Korea, we do have more drive-thrus when it comes to cars. As you said, Bella, I haven't yet seen any motorbike drive-thrus.
Right, and also any drive-thru with convenience store I haven't seen in Korea.
Right. We usually have those at coffee shops.
Cafes, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Coffee shops, but none of with convenience stores. But I would love to see it here as well.
But you don't drive a motorbike, Bella, do you?
But like a drive-through, like a regular drive-through here.
Okay. And Wendy, this is an impromptu question, but first off, why do you think K-food and Korean convenience stores have taken root so quickly in Vietnam? And are there any Korean food items or trends that you think will become even more popular there in the future?
I feel like the K-food, Korean food, has always been popular in Vietnam as we have pretty common culture. And as I live in Korea, I always thought that, if the concept of Korean convenience store come to Vietnam, it's going to be a thing. Because it really fit in the living habit of the youngster, especially like the high schooler, as I mentioned before. And as we all see, it already made a footprint within the society. And now, for the trends, I think recently there's been the Dubai chewy cookie, ducheonku, right?
Right.
It's been such a phenomenon in Korea, right? And I think it might also be a trend in Vietnam too, as we're also curious of how it tastes, which made it go very viral in Korea.
And speaking of viral, Wendy, you are a content creator yourself. So is there any content related to K-food that you would like to try out?
Oh, actually, sure. Because like I'm creating content, and I always wanted to deliver like meaningful and always like diverse content types to my audience. I also want to try some type of like, I go to convenience store and then I try some viral recipe, or I go to some K-food local place and then I introduce those places to my audience.
So then, besides Korean convenience store food, what would you say would be the most popular Korean food products in Vietnam right now?
I would say the most Korean food, when I mention to all of my friends here in Vietnam, I would say tteokbokki. Because it also tastes pretty good. According to all of my friends.
Oh, tteokbokki is my favorite food, and
we just had tteokbokki
here for lunch.
Oh, really?
So, do they also deliver a lot of Korean food in Vietnam?
Actually, they do. I feel like gradually, time by time, like a lot of stores in Vietnam, even run by Korean or even run by Vietnamese, they like specialize their food as Korean food, and a lot of them taste pretty much the same like what I ate in Korea, and that also shocked me of how it really inscripted into the culture.
And finally, before we let you go, Wendy, what's the next K-food you're going to get at the convenience store?
I would say I'm personally really like instant sausages. So that's also what I get the most when I go to convenience store, and I think I'm gonna get it.
Okay, because they have a variety of those, a lot of different tastes of those sausages these days. Well, Thank you very much, Wendy, for connecting with us today. We're going to look forward to more of your contents related to Korea. And yeah, keep in touch. Thanks.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you, Bella, as always. What we talked about, Wendy, is making my mouth water a lot.
I know.
So maybe we're going to head to the next convenience store after the broadcast.
Definitely.
And I'm going to see you back here next week.
Yes, I'll see you back next week.